Hi, it's Sandy Amorum. I want to share a quick video with you today about something that really changed my life. And you might be surprised by what I'm about to tell you, because what had such a profound impact on my life were three words: tell the truth. And before I get into that, I want to just give you, in case you don't know me, I've been a coach for 20 years. I've been working in personal development all that time. I love what I do. And in spite of all that training, life can still sometimes be challenging. And, I also want you to know that in spite of the challenges that life throws us, the future that we want is waiting. It already exists. How can I say that so certainly? Well, it exists because all you have to do is think of something that you want for yourself in the future, and then look around. Someone you know of or have heard of has exactly the thing that you want. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy journey to get it, but that future already exists. So how do I know for sure? Well, because just like you, I am a regular person. I found myself a few years ago really struggling to meet my goals, to feel happy and fulfilled. And it was a shock to me because, as a coach with all this training, I thought I had everything I needed to really get through that difficult time. And yet it was still such a challenge. I remember back to my 49th birthday, around 3 o'clock in the morning, I was lying in bed, unable to sleep, because the thought that kept playing round and round in my head was, I'm trapped. And, the truth that I hadn't been willing to admit until that night at 3 a.m. was that I felt trapped in my life, I felt trapped in my body, and I felt trapped in my business. And I didn't know what to do about it because I had been trying every trick in the book, every tool that I had at my disposal, and nothing was working. And the fear about telling the truth was so strong, it kept me in that stuck state for almost 2 years. It was one of the most challenging times of my life. And that fear was so strong, it was paralyzing. Until one day, somehow, I found the courage to tell the truth. That I wasn't happy, that I was actually even depressed, and I didn't know what to do about it. And the more that I told the truth, the easier it got. And here's the thing that surprised me. The more that I told the truth, the more that people responded to my story. I think we're tired of these gurus who look like they have everything in their lives handled. They have it all together. They have this perfect facade. And sometimes that's exactly what it is, a facade, a mask. And so for me, that mask had been killing me. And telling the truth was what set me free. Which, that saying, the truth shall set you free. I actually discovered that that was true. But I want you to tell the truth in two ways. The first is to tell the truth about where you're stuck, about where you're unhappy, about where you're frustrated. Right? Too often we gloss over that part because we want to start creating something that feels better. But unless you clear up the shit that stopped you, what you create is not going to be effective. It's not going to work. Right? So you have to tell the truth about the stuff that's not working, and then tell the truth about what you want, which actually, oddly, is just as challenging, especially for women. After 2 years, the last 2 years of leading a program to women, I've really witnessed how hard it is sometimes for women to tell the truth about what they want. We're so conditioned to not say what we want because we don't want to look selfish, or it makes us feel guilty, or we should put the children, the spouse, the partner, everybody is first. And then if there's time and resources left, then we can maybe have what we want. And so it is time to blow that up. Tell the truth about what you want, what you long for. You know, that thing, that dream that won't leave you alone? What would happen if you told the truth about that? I'll tell you what happens: freedom. And so what I've learned is that when we tell the truth, we actually start to take back our freedom and power to create what we want in our lives. It's amazing. So here we are, 6 years later from my 49th birthday, that dark night of the soul, and my life is pretty much the same and yet totally different, which I know, how is that possible? Well, it's the same in that I have the same business, except now instead of frustration, I feel so fulfilled by the work that I do. It's the same in that I have the same body, except it's different in that I am much more accepting, a lot less judgmental of my body and what it can and can't do for me. And it's the same in that I'm married to the same person, and yet I have such a different experience of life. And that's what happens when we tell the truth. We give ourselves permission and freedom comes back. So I have 2 more pillars that I'm going to share with you. And by pillar, I mean something that's so foundational to living your life that without it, things get shaky. So tell the truth was the first pillar. I have 2 more pillars that I'm going to share with you over the next week in 2 more videos. And I hope you stay tuned for that, because when you work with all 3 together, really magical stuff can happen. And things can happen that you might never even expect. And that's pretty awesome. What I would love for you to do right now is to leave a comment. And here's what I want you to consider before you reply. How might telling the truth open something up for you? What do you think about that? How might telling the truth set you free today? Okay, I'll see you soon in a few days with the next video. Bye for now.